So the thing that I want to talk about, I do agree with some of these essays right here, is about power creep. Alright, power creep is right after using her earlier, she do feel really strong. Right, she is really strong, and big asset though, big asset, but still she feels really strong, right? And I think right now players are a bit worried. Is she the best DPS in the game? Best character in the game? Okay, no other DPS characters. I used her in Time War with no other DPS characters and she violated the event. Okay, her ult is only 4 cost. She's probably going to be viable in PvP. I feel like in the future, maybe the only way they can power creep her in the future is if they release someone similar but make it 3 cost, 2 cost, right? I think that's just going to be the lines of making power creeps, right? She's the best DPS in the game by far, and no one even comes close. This level of power creep this early is pretty concerning for the game's future. So right now, I feel like, let me think, right? Back to what we talked about earlier, right? So let me jump into the game again, a quick one. So every character in the game so far has been kind of power creep, right? The first character in the game is Lamia, right? She's the first character in the game. She is, I would say, one of the stronger ones that's non-ancestral, right? So she's quite strong. And then the one that came after was Dalcarlo. I think Dalcarlo is too strong. I feel like even though, where is she? Even though Dalcarlo's meta is like, she's more towards the magic team, I think Dalcarlo is kind of, she feels a little bit overtuned. Do you guys not feel that? I feel like she's a little bit too strong, especially if you can manual. Because I feel like she carries a lot in the story if you know how to like aim her circle, right? Because she's a circular area. If you auto, the AI is a bit dumb, right? But if you know how to aim as many enemies as possible, she's actually kind of strong as well. I think Dalcarlo, Lamia, both are very strong characters. After that is going to be Lorelei, which is her. Some people argue that she's the least strongest, right? Least strongest, maybe, I don't know, like, I think she's still very strong PvP. And then we got Fleeting Bella, which is much more of a semi-support character. Also very strong, right? Also very strong. Ooh, look at that bald baby. And now we have the latest one in addition, Transcendent Iona. So I think power creep definitely is noticeable. Alright, everybody can see that it's getting higher and higher. The ceiling, right? And I think it's less to do with power creep, but it's more to do with, if every banner is a strong character, then I think it's going to be very dangerous. I do think it's going to be quite dangerous. The thing is, there's no character that's bad so far, right? They need to release bad characters. At least like as someone that plays Nikke, right, or Blue Archive and other games, I feel like sometimes there's bad characters. Sometimes there are characters that are like skippable. For example, like we got Sora in Blue Archive that's like only good in PvP, for example, right? Or more useful in PvP, but less useful in PvE. But so far in this game, it does feel like, yeah, it does feel like we are constantly moving up more and more, right? That's going to be how it is. The thing is, I can see this concern for sure, right? I do agree with a certain sentiment. Lorelei is trash. I wouldn't use the word trash. I don't think she's like top tier meta, but she's decent. She's a decent S tier. She can definitely help you a little bit if depending on the situation, right? I would use the word situational or niche. You need ancestral Van Helsing. As long as she isn't the baseline in the future, I hope she's an anomaly like Miyabi in Zenless Zone Zero. Huh. The fact they released this many alternate versions of their main cast this early is the biggest worry. So we got Iona 3 versions so far. Wait. Yeah, we have 3 versions so far, right? You don't mind Iona being strong since she is ancestral. I guess that's like one point. She is an ancestor, right? So, which is like a pilgrim character. So that's kind of fine, I guess, to a certain extent. But at the same time, we don't know yet, right? We like for us to know if the power creep is going to continue, we'll have to wait for the next banner, right? So that's just going to be how it is. Not sure if I'm happy about the extra busted characters introduced this early. Extra bust. Oh, okay. Talking about like broken characters. Can't we consider the original cast as standard characters and the standard ones as exclusive? I know they are not in the game, but hasn't every banner's strength so far been better than the starting cast? Not including Van Helsing or Ancestors. Lamia and Darkalo went into standard. Okay. T.AIONA is going there too. Not including Ancestors. Trans Iona shits on all DPS Ancestors, which is why it's concerning. If she was on par with existing Ancestors, or they were as broken as her, then it would be a different question. Look at how washed Incendiary Agares is. Damn! Dio is washed. Yeah, I can see from that perspective. Yeah, Incendiary Agares is definitely not even close, right? Like you can see like both are 4 cores, so I can see why they want to compare that. Like Incendiary Agares literally have to shoot, and it's like the HP go down slow. Like Transcendent Iona literally just sweeps everything in the entire field. So it's like a different one entirely, right? Fleeting Bella turn Transcendent Iona into turret. Yeah, like that one is a very good combo for her, right? That's going to be one thing as well. I hope Timeless Aiona isn't a sign of future power creep. Otherwise, they might surpass Fire Emblem Heroes power creep. I'm not familiar with Fire Emblem Heroes, or maybe even other infamous gachas like Honkai Star Rail, by making units that are only 3+ months old completely useless. She's so broken it's not even funny. Basically mandatory in all moods, she makes the game a complete cakewalk. I'm kinda worried right now. I consider Silver and Blood to be pretty balance oriented with some hit and miss, understandable at the start in Mo, but you read Iona's description and can't find at least one drawback. Even single target only that marksmen suffer is not about her. And her multiplayer is insane. Her dedicated support is also pretty OP. I'm easily clearing teams in PvP with 20k more BP than my team, just because I have Iona and they don't. Wow. Wow. It's too early to make essays like this. I can see the concern, right? I think players are worried because number one, you don't have something to reference for, or two, because we don't have a CN server or JP server, right? So you're experiencing everything firsthand, right? So in a way, that's going to be what it is. I think like for like games like you know, that you can look ahead, like Girls Flying 2 for example, players are less concerned or worried because you can see ahead, or you can see what's coming. So there's also going to be that factor going into for global players as well. Can't believe people are defending this. Of course gachas have power creep, but not on this level where a DPS absolutely blows everyone else away. Transcendent Iona is like a character 1 year into the game. It makes it feel bad to use any other DPS. And try defending against her in PvP. She will melt any shielding or healing you can throw out without much counterplay. Okay, that's how it is. GFL2 is adding the unit in CN that destroys a map easily. I know, AK-15. So again, what do you guys think of the essay, right? At the end of the day, right now, what is this? Timeless Aiona shilling is insane. So she has a lore in her daily puzzle, she has an event story, and has the most Noah conversations in her affinity upgrades. They gave her pool incentives, ton of rewards, crazy fan surveys, spending event, as well as the most busted kit in the game. There's no doubt in my mind, she will be one of the first, if not the first character, to get a skin with new ultimate animation, gacha skin, probably $50 to $60. I'm not complaining, I'm just bewildered by how much she's getting. This is crazy. Now it could be an ancestral character thing, not necessarily an Iona thing, but we will have to wait and see. Anyways, I got 2 copies in 70 pools, so I'ma just keep going until the event ends, hoping for 2 more. Good luck to all of you. She is a must pull. Wow. Must pull. I say we boycott. Boycott. Good luck. Good luck with your boycott. Okay, one more. This one is about the PT system. New event PT system is concerning. My friend and I were pulling on the new event, and I am concerned. This character is overpowered, but the PT system has changed. The once generous rate up guarantee of ancestor or banner unit after losing 50-50 is gone. you can only get the bonus tenfolds once, and after it's essentially not a good banner. This is really concerning, especially since Iona is really strong. I hope going forward, this banner changes. My friend did over 350 pulls for only 2 copies of Iona, with no ancestors. How do others feel? Maybe I am out of pocket for this opinion. 350 pulls for 2 copies of Iona. Wait, 120 is the guarantee, right? So that means hard PT, 120, 240, 360, so he's almost dead on the third one. Every 120 is like a hard PT. Is the first ancestor banner? So I guess, yeah, like we're not sure how it works yet. Is every ancestor banner going to be like that, right? If every ancestor banner is going to be like that, then cool, I guess, right? But other than that, I'm not too sure. Greedy and crying? Damn! His friend is greedy and crying. Sounds like BS. He's trying to get multiple copies. Yeah, that's the point, he's trying to get multiple copies. Sometimes you just be greedy, right? And can you blame players for trying to be greedy though? Most players like to get copies. I think it's just like, it's just people that play gacha, they just like copies, right? Copies. But yeah, they shouldn't try to push too far. So you gotta be extra careful, man. She's guaranteed at 120, we are getting a total of 50 free pulls from events or logins. You only need to 70 pulls to guarantee her. It's way better than pretty much every other gacha game. You only need 70 pulls to guarantee her. 50 pulls from events or logins. Okay. Can you count those though? Because those are like part of the currency, right? They are mentioned that your worst case to get her is 120 pulls. I don't see how different or bad that is compared to other gacha. Plus she is an ancestor after all. Okay. I understand why companies become predatory, because no matter how generous they are, people would never be satisfied and will always complain. So might as well just F them and earn money from the whales. 120 pulls to guarantee such an insanely OP unit is honestly so good. You don't even need more than 1 copy. Compare this to Mystic Mayhem and Uma Musume, 2 games which released on the same day as Silver and Blood. Those raids and spark or pity counters are a joke in those games. Not to mention how extremely stingy those games are compared to Silver and Blood. Already have 50 free pulls on 2 very good banners, Dal Carlo and F. Bella. Okay, I can see his point. Yeah, I can see that it's always going to be something that people will always want to bring up, is the lack of need for copies, right? You don't really need copies. There are some games that really need copies. For example, Girls Frontline 2. What other? Uma Musume, I guess, to a certain extent, right? You need copies. So I can see that's going to be something that people will always compare, right? And yeah, that's going to be if you don't have V6 you can't play. No V6 cannot play. Damn. No V6 can't play. Really? That's too much.